As your calipers get old, that square rubber seal in the bore starts to get hard and brittle. The shiny metal here is the piston. This is the brake pad, and this is the rotor. We should be able to take this screwdriver and retract the piston just enough to remove the caliper. All we need is a little bit of wiggle room, and these calipers will slide right off. With stuck calipers, it's going to be a lot more work. The piston won't retract easily. If you have this problem, that means that piston is stuck in the extended position. For now, I'm going to hang the caliper on the strut tower. This will keep weight off the brake line as we remove the brake pads, the bracket, and the old rotor. This is the upper mounting bolt, and this is the lower. Both are 19 millimeter. We want the hub completely free of any rust and grime before proceeding any further. Our rotors, calipers, brake pads are all from Callahan. At the factory, they spray the rotors in a thin layer of rust preventative oil, which we'll need to remove before installation. I'm adding caliper grease to the contact points behind the clips for the brake pads. This will prevent moisture from getting behind the ears of the brake pads and creating rust. Press your clips into place. You can install your brake pads at this point or wait until later. On the Suzuki Forenza, the anti-rattle clips need to be on the outboard side of the bracket as opposed to the inboard side. You'll see why in a second. If you install the anti-rattle clips on the inboard side, as shown here, they interfere with the slide pins and you will not be able to install the caliper. You should never have to force the brake pads into place. They should move freely back and forth within the slots. Next, you want to check the grease on the slide pins. The pins should slide easily back and forth in the bore, but there shouldn't be so much grease that it creates a suction effect. I'm unscrewing the banjo bolt from the back of the caliper. This will disconnect our brake line. We'll install our new bracket and caliper and reconnect the brake line at that point. Okay, we reinstalled the brake line. We put in the lower slide pin bolt, the upper slide pin, the upper mounting bolt, and the lower mounting bolt. Now it's time to bleed the brakes. We'll check the level of the brake fluid first, then put the wheel back on and torque the lug nuts. Before going off on your test drive, pump up the brakes a bunch of times until the brake pedal feels good and hard. Listen to any abnormal sounds and pay attention to the strength or weakness of the new caliper. Well, of course, the brakes felt a lot better than they did before. There was no pulling to the side when you hit the brakes, and no spongy feel to the pedal. The brakes are back to normal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.